The Honourable David Parker.
I suppose the first thing I would say in response to the fact that the prior speaker says we can't nail them on anything, I'd say it's very hard to nail blancmange. Mr. Speaker, sometimes this House has a sense of unreality. You feel like you're in a Disneyland movie, and today the general debate has been an example of that. We had the ACT Party come down here and describe what has happened to them, the National Party takeover by a septuagenarian of the ACT Party, as rejuvenation. Rejuvenation. Then we had these institutionalised front bench members of the National Party coming down and telling us, the Labour Party, that we've got no plan. That we've got no plan. They put up Tony Ryle, a veteran of the Bolger administration, a veteran of the Shipley administration, a veteran who has been a veteran so long that he's replacing those Gallipoli veterans on the front line of Anzac ceremonies. He is bereft of ideas, as the National Party is. Then we had Maurice Williamson coming up with the same phrases. They've obviously polled and they've found that they're in trouble for not having a plan. So what's the Crosby-Textor response from the National Party? To accuse the Labour Party of not having a plan. This on the same day that the National Party go out and say, we're going to reverse our reversal on KiwiSaver. Having dropped the contribution rate from 4% to 2% for KiwiSaver, they're now saying they're going to put it back up to 4%, and that's the big plan for the budget. Wow. Mr. Speaker, no wonder this country is in an economic malaise. The national government has no credible plan. And that's why they've given up on their promises of the last election. And I remind listeners that they were elected on the promise to close the wage gap with Australia, not to put up GST, to lead us to a brighter future, not the economic malaise that we're currently suffering from, to have higher standards, not to buy new BMWs and pretend that they weren't aware of it, and then they were going to have a step change in the economy. Instead, I think the ACT Party made this point in the House yesterday. We've got the highest rate of youth unemployment that anyone can remember. And the National Party front bench, these institutionalised members who are retreads, who have been here now through three administrations, tell us we have not got a plan. Mr. Speaker, we've already got more ideas out there than they've had. A tax-free zone, so that the first so many $1,000s of earnings are free of tax, GST off fresh fruit and vegetables, ring fencing of losses, and a lot of other initiatives. Now, if we put anything more out there, the National Party will just steal them. In fact, their latest policy of reinstating what they cut last year on KiwiSaver is actually stealing Labour Party policy. It was us that had a 4% contribution rate under KiwiSaver, and it was National that cut it 2% and now reinstating it to 4%. So to hear them say that we have no plan is rather galling. Mr. Speaker, rejuvenation. Well, rejuvenation, according to the National Party, is retreads from 3 prior administrations who still haven't come up with a credible plan for the economy. Rejuvenation, according to the ACT Party, is bringing back the National Party into ACT via Don Brash and John Banks in order to bring Don Brash and John Banks into Parliament, both former National Party members, and of course John Banks, the failed mayor of Auckland at the latest election. Mr. Speaker, there will be a choice at this coming election. It will be who New Zealanders trust to grow the economy. And the National Party response to that is to pretend that all of these problems were not of their making. They knew the global financial crisis was here, as we heard Trevor Mallard say today, that it's quite incredible for the Prime Minister to deny that he knew that the global financial crisis was coming when he made all his rash promises to cut taxes. Mr. Speaker, the government has no plan.
Paul Quinn.